Hey, hi everyone. So good evening all. So hope everyone has been fine here. Okay, so and in yesterday's session we had like an a concept of matplotlib, right? So and in between, I mean on the last point of it. Okay, so we have been stopped. Okay, so we'll try to make it as a continuation of it also. Okay, so no need to worry about it. I just want to mention that because I was not able to specify it about yesterday. Right. So hope everything has been fine. So from your side, I think you're making us a good practice it out also. Okay. So hi Swapna, hi Chandu. Yes. Good evening. Hi Abhijit. Okay. So it was nice. You're back. Okay. Right. So how many have been tried practicing on that matplotlib? Okay. So and even for the pandas. So did you make any research on that? Yes, Shivanath. Yes. I hope like might have been tried out also. Okay, so which was like kind of bar chart and all like representation which have been tried out, right? So that also we'll try to make it as a recap. Okay, and no need to worry about those other things and kind of images also we'll try to do it. Okay, so how to implement that images and so on, we'll try to apply it out also. Yes, Shekhar. Okay. And did you and even I'll try to want to mention like some kind of websites even which is being related like kind of reference also I can able to add it out also at the end of this session. So I want to mention it out here. Okay, so shall we start with this? Okay, so I don't want right. So just make it as an way in learning part of it and in depth of even for the machine learning view also we need to check it out here. Okay, so shall we start? Because I don't want like making you wait and so on. Okay, so shall we start it here? Okay, so makes a thumbs up. So let's see. So how many have been ready? Okay, and don't forget to mark your attendance also. Okay, so based on that, even for your assignments and even for your progress also, it will be very much required. So from our let's upgrade. Okay, right. So cool. Thank you, but yes. So in matplotlib, okay, so for visualization part and even for the how you can able to apply that functionalities we have been mentioned for till bar plot. Okay, so bar view for a particular data you can able to say it out also or a particular corresponding information which has been present like kind of country and population. So till here actually we have been seen and just a small recap because in between it's been stopped, right? So we'll try to make this a small recap. Okay, so same thing I'm trying to display it here. Okay, so this is a kind of country's data. Okay, so which is being present in my system. So even I mentioned like I'll share it out, but at the end of this session I'll try to share it out also. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Okay, so in this like what we have done is like in 2007 we have been filtered the data and then we have been applied the population values to be displayed. Okay, so like kind of the highest population to the lowest population. So like top 10 we are trying to display it out here. So in that way like sort values. Okay, so we have been sorted those values in a descending order. Okay, so that's what the point even we have been mentioned out also. Okay, so in that point of it, we have been trying trigger. Okay, so let me see. Just a second. Yeah. So now in that format. Okay, so let me share. Let me share my screen once again. So it will be trying to get displayed further. Okay. So in our view, so where we can able to apply this format or applying this particular representation format also. Okay, so anywhere else, I mean, any particular data, it might be healthcare field or it might be kind of financial field wise, or even with even for manufacturing domains, anywhere else we can able to apply this particular representation view. I mean, for visualization part. Okay, and even for this advanced, we had as in Seaborn also. Okay, so in that light, some few charts which have been frequently used. Okay, so you can able to mention like more people have been trying to display for the client view and so on. So in that point of it, we are trying to do it. Okay, and even for kind of machine learning and this kind of artificial intelligence and so on. So this representation also is being used. I mean, for picture wise, we have that useness here. Okay, and that I'll try to show it out also, and then I'll try to add that concept directly to our ML view. Okay, so now let's see here. So I was trying to mention about this data which yesterday we have been using. Okay, it's like kind of countries data here, and in that like particularly 2007 year. This is an example year only. It's not particular that only 2007 I want to go with. Okay, so for now I just taken that kind of filtering format, and in that I was trying to find out like population information. Okay, so many countries will be available. In that I want to find out which country has the highest population, and then from that next second population view and so on. So in that format I've been triggered. So what we have been done is like kind of sorting those values. Okay, this is a function. Okay, so this sort value is a functionality population wise, and then in a descending order. Okay, so ascending it to equal to false is a kind of inversion. Okay, so indirect way to specify it as a descending order here. And top 10. Okay, so top 10 we are trying to get it out also. Right, so now in this view, so once we got that particular information, so I want to represent like a kind of bar view or kind of any particular charts I want to display it out here. So that's we have been applied. Okay, so here you can see that representation. Okay, and in this like dot figure which we have been tried. So this is for figure size to increase. Okay, so this is for the figure size to get increased here. And this x values which you have been trying to mention, this is like kind of default kind of range values from 0 to 9. Okay, so 0 1 2 3 so on. So almost like first 10 plotting wise we are trying to do it. I mean first 10 population we are trying to fit out here along with the country. Okay, so just by default with some values have been given for the x-axis. Then I've been changed it out also. That's what even we have been mentioning it about x-ticks. What is x-ticks also? So there was the point. So what we have been done with the bar view, of course, the word bar itself will be trying to trigger the bar chart view or bar representation. Okay, so dot bar we have been given, and even we can able to add a point like what values we are trying to use it out. Okay, so already we have been filtered and we have been making that ready. I mean that data which you are going to use it out. So we are making ready. Already it's been ready here, and from those corresponding data only you're trying to use those values in our bar charts. Okay, so I've been applied our x. Okay, so already I've been taken that x values and our population. I mean those population values, if you see it about, so above you can see it here, these are the population values. I mean from the column itself we are trying to take those values here. Okay, so from the highest to the lowest view. Right. So what happens? So we'll be trying to make it. Okay. So highest means like the bar will be like top view, almost kind of like count. Okay. So which is being top, and then second population highest, third population highest. So we are trying to trigger that through representation wise. We are trying to trigger. Okay. So before that X sticks, if you apply it, so nothing but the outcome will be like 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. Okay, so that's what I have been changed. Like I want to give the country names, which particular country has been the highest view and which is the second highest and so on. So on that point of it, I've been changed that. So xticks is a functionality to change those limits. Okay, so these values and all which you're trying to see, China, India, United States, and so on. Those we are trying to mention as a limits here, so that we can able to change it out through xticks. Okay, so xticks is nothing but we are trying to place each and every name for that particular bar. Okay, so each and every name for that particular bar here. So x already which we have been given 0 to 9, and that will be taken as countries wise. Okay, so each and every country, so first, second, and so on. So that's why these country names have been added here. Okay, so yesterday even we have been asking about the text. That's what the meaning I was trying to mention. Okay, so meaning is like, so where we are trying to take that label. Okay, let's say like kind of label we have it out. Okay, so that label names or that country names we are trying to add to that particular bar itself. Okay, so fine. So now I think might have been got that points related to which is being left out from yesterday. Okay, So we'll try to go continuation of it. So another kind of chart we'll try to apply it out also, or another kind of representation for this same data. Even you can able to try it out. Okay, so let's say like a kind of scatter. Okay, so what are the columns have been present here? Let me see once again, or let me try to execute that particular columns. Okay, so for the same, we can able to say like, okay, let me change this. Okay, it's like small letters. It's a case sensitive. Okay, so we have like country, continent, year, life expectancy, population, and GDP. Okay, so some have been like country and population. Okay, so already we have been tried, and year wise we have been filtered. Okay, so let's try it out like scatter. Scatter is nothing but those meeting points we have been tried out like in the plotting. So where and all the data has been present. Okay, so I'll try it out between life expectancy and as well as GDP. Okay, so between those two columns or two information what we have to life expectancy versus the GDP per capital for 2007, you can able to plot out also. Just a simple kind of scatter functionality. Okay, so that you can able to apply, and you can able to see that outcome also from this data. You can able to see that outcome view. Okay, so let me try it out here. So let me just check once again. So previous, I think top 10 we have been picked out. Okay, so top 10 I just try to remove. Let's take all the data itself. Okay, so for now I'll just pick out this. Okay, so you can see the same point only. Okay, so there is no any changes in that. So instead of that head, I just execute this. All the corresponding information of top. Okay, I mean like population wise, we have been triggered here. Okay, so this is like if required, you can able to use it and so on. Okay, so even for population wise and so on, or else directly we can able to apply without that population view. Okay, so I'll try change. Okay, so from previous what we had it, I'll just try to use the same here. So D underscore 2007 also can able to try it out. Okay, so you can just check this. So this is the data we had without the population as descending order and so on or ascending order. This is the data which we have presently. Okay, so what I'll try to do it is like I'll try to make this particular data through scatter view. Okay, so through scatter format, I'll try to apply it out here. Okay, so between that x-axis and y-axis, we used to plot those corresponding values, right? So in that format, we'll try trigger. Okay, so let's see. If you have any doubts, also can just mention it out. Okay, so I'll try to answer related to those points. Okay, so which I'm trying to apply it here. Okay, so no need to worry about that. So, but just see how we are trying to plot it out. Okay, so pld dot scatter, it's a very simple. Okay, direct functionality from our matplotlib. So dot scatter, we are trying to take it, and d underscore 2007. So two columns has been required. So let me say like life expectancy is one column, and another column is like GDP, right? So GDP will try to take it. Okay, I think it's like capital letters. It's not taking. I'll just copy that. Instead of that, making a spelling mistakes and so on, just copy that particular column and just try to replace it here. Okay, so here we have your column. Okay, so when you try and execute sign, just kind of data points which have been marked. Okay, so according to life expectancy, you can able to find out also. So now can check this. So x-axis will be your life expectancy, and y-axis will be your GDP per capita. So you can see like by representation itself, you can able to find out how the data has been present. So based on our life expectancy from 40 to near to 70 and so on. So your GDP capital is like very low, but beyond 70 is like GDP capital has been increasing. Okay, so you can see the difference. Okay, easily we can able to identify from our particular representation itself. Okay, so like according to this data or according to this information, I can able to mention it like between the age of, I mean like between the life expectancy of this 40 to less than 70. So we have less GDP value, and beyond that 70, I mean life expectancy of beyond 70, we have that increasing of GDP per capita here. Okay, so this how we can able to identify, because from the data directly you cannot able to see it. Okay, some might be high, some might be low value, so it differs. Okay, so in that point of it we are trying to get here. Okay, so got it. So in this, like through scatter, just direct scatter functionality, even might be having some doubt. So in the plot function also we had it. Okay, so like kind of markers which to do it, right? So but the difference between the plot and the difference between the scatter is nothing but plot by default will be connecting those data points. If you just recap that, okay, so it's been connecting those data points. But here in scatter, it doesn't connect those data points here. Okay, this is like meeting point of those two axes, x-axis and the y-axis values, or between the two information what we have done. Okay, so got it. So even we can able to add your labels and so on. Okay, so I'll just try to make it like so kind of information if you're trying to pass it. So I'll try to give some title here because it's about the life expectancy. Okay, so I can able to pass this with GDP per capita. Okay, so just sign a small heading wise, you can able to relate also. Okay, and for the X labeling part, we have it. Okay, I'll just pass it as life expectancy, and for the y-axis, the same format. Okay, so you can able to relate it out also. Okay, so GDP per capital. Okay, right. So now it's like in kind of full information which is being present. Like this, we can able to store it out. Just like kind of right click and then save that particular image. Also, we can able to do it out here. Okay, so this image we can able to share it out to the client and so on. Okay, so in that format you can able to apply it out. Right. So this is like through scatter how we are trying to apply and how we are trying to understand that particular data itself. Okay, there's a very simple format. Okay, so not like much difficulty we have out here. That's why Matplotlib they are mentioning it as a very easy kind of basic way to learn it out also. Okay, and even beyond that, we have tools. Okay, so already I've been mentioned about Power BI and Tableau. We have the tools wise. I'll show it out at the last also. Okay, so no need to worry about that. Okay, and one more. Uh, okay, so this data set is like in countries data set. Okay, so which is being present in my system. So that's why I just imported, I mean, or uploaded into that collab, and then we are trying to use it out. Okay, so no need to worry about this. And this I'll try to share it out. Okay, so the dataset link also I'll try to share it out later. So now further I want to mention like um, image I want to display it here. It's like picture. Even I mean mention about in the yesterday session. I want to display a picture here. Okay, just for example, why we are trying to make in that way is like further in our machine learning concepts and so on. Okay, it's like in a real time view when you try and do it out. So like facial recognitions and all, we have it right. So when you're trying to see your face, it's trying to scan and it's trying to display your details. Okay, so this kind of thing. Okay, so that image will be trying to get captured, so that if you want to display that particular image also through representation wise or this particular library also can able to use it. Okay, so for now I just show that format how we can able to import that image or upload that particular image also. I can able to display it here. Okay, so let me show. Let's just for example as a kind of any particular pictures. Okay, so I'll try to display it here. Okay, so let me apply and you can able to check it out also. And it's a part of the Matplotlib as a package also. Okay, so let me show. So import matplotlib dot image. Okay, so previously we have been tried like dot py plot, right? So same thing. Dot image we have it, and alias short name. Okay, so if required, mpimg, just some other name you can able to list out also. So now I'm trying to take it. So it's a part of package. Okay, so we are trying to use it out here, and in this we need to pass our path location of that particular image, like how the data we have been imported, same format, or we can able to upload it here in our collab. Okay, so of course we need to upload it here. So in the left hand side we have that folder where how I've been uploaded those previous data what we have been asking it out also. that country's data. Okay, so here it has been present, I've been uploaded. Okay, so then only I've been able to use it. So let me upload here some small picture for it for now. Okay, so I'm just trying to upload. Okay, just a small image. It's like pick one is a file name and .png. So extension also we have it. Okay, so now it's trying to get loaded. Okay, so it's a little bit of time. So it's trying to load it. Once it's been taken, then you can able to grab that particular file name and that extension also. Okay, so then you can able to display it out. Okay, so let's before that itself we'll try to give the command. Okay, so that you can able to give that command or functionality. Okay, so how can you able to apply it? So just view it here. So for this from import that image what we have it. Okay, so img dot image read. Okay, so image read, like IM read is nothing but image read. We are trying to read that particular image, and the outcome will be like an array format. Okay, so normally that outcome will be array format. So how that array format is like, the images contain inside part of that image will be having some pixels. Okay, of course, it might have been many pictures might have been taken and so on. Okay, if you just zoom, it will be like kind of boxes. Okay, the whole picture, if you try to zoom in one particular corner and so on, will be like in kind of boxes. Each and every box contains some values. That values is nothing but those color values only. Okay, so it's like kind of constant view like RGB colors, red, green, and blue, right? So of course, you might have been known about that. 0 to 255, so that value colors will be present. So those value colors only in our array format will be trying to display. So then we are trying to take that array values and then we are trying to plot through our image show. Okay, that is also one more functionality for that. Okay, that is the difference. How it's trying to read and then it's trying to reflect back. Okay, or we are trying to display it back here. There is only difference we have it. Okay, so let me show it here. This is a file name I need to pass it. So pick and png. Okay, and then I'll try to store it out. Okay, so I'll just store it out here. Okay, like a kind of just a variable name. Okay, so for now img, and if you want to display that you can see that outcome. Okay, so here you can see that the outcome. Okay, so like kind of values. Okay, like kind of numerical values has been present. Okay, so normally it's a kind of normalization kind of data. Okay, meaning like 0 to 1 range they have been taken. So totally if it is like an a full view color, because already it's been changed. So full view color, so 0 to 255 will be the color view. Okay, so like red and green mixed with some color view. Okay, so normally we have colors, right? So two colors mixed will be new color will be formed. Okay, so that value will be present. Based on that value, this corresponding outcome, okay, as an array format is trying to get displayed here. So this I'll try to uh, plot it out. Okay, so you can just check this. I'll try to display it here. Then you can able to get an idea. So how we are trying to form it and so on. Okay, so from our matplotlib. Okay, so again back to that same. So from our matplotlib dot image show img. Okay, that variable name which have been taken. So now you can see the outcome. So it will be trying to display that image. Okay, so which we have been imported and so on, right? So which we have been taken. So that image we are trying to display. So this is how even for our facial recognitions and this kind of concepts, okay, or this kind of use cases, this format and all is been required, or this particular functionality and all is been required here. Okay, so just a simple format. Okay, so like how we are trying to grab that particular image and then display it here. Okay, so the meaning is like, so we are trying to import our matplotlib. So dot image is a package, and then we are trying to make it as a simple a short names. Okay, so in PIMG, that's a short name only, and we are trying to read that image. Okay, so dot image read. Okay, so IM read is nothing but dot image read. Okay, so dot IM read. That is a functionality which have been mentioned. So based on that, you can able to load that image, file name of it, and .png and so on, and then you can able to display it out using image show. Okay, so now you can see here. So dot image show we had it. Okay, and which particular variable? I mean that image we have been stored it, right? Which particular variable in format? Okay, so now you can able to display that image here. So any particular image you can able to try it out. Even your pictures also can able to try it out here and then get displayed format. Okay, so able to understand here, so how I'm been trying it out and so on, so how I've been applied. So anything if you want, you can just mention it out also. If you have been understood that, so you can just pass it as an S, or else I'll just try to mention it out again, so no issues. Okay, so for any particular image, so to display and where and all you can able to use it like kind of for smart attendance systems, or even like here we have like iris kind of data for Aadhaar card and all, we have that iris view, right? So it's trying to grab that particular image part of it. Okay, so that iris image and so on. And even for our kind of hospitality also, so this particular kind of use case which is being used also. And even for manufacturing domain also we have that format. And I mean manufacturing domain is like, let's say you're trying to manufacture the shirts, okay, just for example. Okay, so this image should be present, of course. Okay, so I'm an image of the picture or the quality of it and so on, and what's the color of it, and so the length and so on. So those kind of full structure of that particular image will be taken. Okay, that's the only difference. And then we are trying to use it, so other kind of libraries which have been present in the market and so on. Okay, fine. So related to this, okay, so for representation or visualization part, so these things will be applicable in our machine learning concept. Okay, so like through visualization or in for client view also, and as well as for analysis. Okay, so mainly for analysis also can able to do it, because like through just a simple command and getting that value outcome, that we have been known like value, but for the clients or even the IT markets and so on, if you want to explain, okay, by seeing that itself they can able to understand. That's how this visualization will be taken into the upgrading view here. Okay, right. So let's go a little bit further. Okay, so we have been mentioning about machine learning and so on, right? So for today's session wise, we are trying to make it as a continuation view. Okay, so any idea what is machine learning? So let's see how many are trying to mention about that. Any idea behind that? So what's the meaning of it, at least if you have been explored? So let's see how many. Yes, Smile, yes. At least any idea you have it out. If you want to mention, you can just mention. This is a simple word. If you want to specify it out also, okay. What is machine learning? Okay, or any kind of use case which has been required for our field wise and so on. Okay, so fine. So let me try to make it as a small explanation point also. Okay, so with a kind of real time use cases which can even we have been using it out also. Okay, so making that machine to learn or model building, of course, yeah. Training the data to get outcome, of course. Okay, so okay, to predict automatically, yes, exactly. Okay, right. So as a layman point of view, okay, so you have been already like kind of technical kind of people, right? So technically wise you can able to explain. If it is like in kind of layman, okay, so like non-technical people, okay, so if you want to explain that way, so how you will be trying to add it? Okay, so how you can able to explain that format in easy way to understand and so on. Okay, so that I'll try to add it out here. And along with that kind of where and all which is being applied, I mean like in real time you even you might be using that applications. Okay, so you might be using that applications, but some might have not known, okay, this is the one which we are trying to learn and so on. Or even previously long back we have been using it out, but now they are trying to use it as an they're trying to mention it as a use case of a particular machine learning view. Okay, so let me try to add a point to that. Okay, so you can just check this. Just a second. Let me show it a small view and we'll try to apply it. Okay. So related to ML, okay, so related to this machine learning view, okay, so I've been given as a small kind of flow understanding, okay, so for easy way to understand and so on, okay, so flow understanding I've been given it out here. Okay, so no need to get. Okay, so don't need to get worry about this like some kind of input and output has been present and so on. So no need to worry about those things. So but in a simple point, I'll try to relate between the human learning and as well as between the machine learning. Okay, so let's say, okay, let me try to make it here first. Okay, so instead of first present here for this, instead of machine learning, let me go for the human learning part. Okay, so human learning. So human learning means like we are how we are learning it out and so on. In that meaning only, I'm trying to relate here. Okay, so for humans, let's say if you want to learn something, okay, if you want to learn for a particular subject or anything, okay, related to it, so we'll be having the previous old books related to it, right? Okay, so from the books only, we'll be trying to start learning, right? So in that point of it, that will be our input. Okay, there's like an incoming view. Okay, so from the previous old books, we are trying to take it out. Okay, so from that incoming view, we are trying to get. Okay, so here I'll try to mark it. This will be our books. Okay, so for human point of it, I'm trying to mention. I mean, for human learning view. Okay, so books we have it. Okay, so book. This is like kind of old books. Okay, so because everything what we are learning, that is from the old part of it only, right? Okay, which is long back or long years ago, which is being taken. Okay, so from that book we'll start learning. Okay, we'll be trying to read and so on. Okay, so that learning part is nothing but like self learning only. Okay, so like our own self we can able to start learning point. Okay, so you can able to add that view, so we can able to learn by our own self, right? So after learning, okay, so after learning or after reading that book and so on, so what happens, those particular concepts which is being learned will be trying to get stored. Okay, so we'll be trying to get stored, right? The concepts whatever maybe will be trying to get stored, I think that as a kind of outcome. Okay, so nothing but will be stored in our brain. Okay, just as a simple understanding view. Okay, so it will be stored in our brain view here. Okay, so for as a human learning from the book, we are trying to learn it here, and then as a self-learning, we are trying to do it, and then we'll be storing that concepts in our brain. Okay, so this is common for our human learning. So once it has been stored, where and all if you want to apply. Okay, so any particular experiment if you want to do, those concepts will be trying to get triggered. So with that concept, we can able to make it as a successful experiment and so on. That experiment also is like upcoming point of it. Okay, so the future we are trying to do it and so on. Right. So this is common for human learning. Same concept, I'll try to add it to the machine learning view. Okay, so same concept of it. Okay, so now you can check this. So here in this particular machine learning, which is being already applied, so you can say like data and answers. Okay, so this data and answers like kind of old information. Okay, so old data. Okay, so old information you can able to say. Okay, we'll try to relate to our kind of real-time use case. Okay, so then will be very much better view. Okay, so all data, let's say of course you might have been using this Amazon app and so on, or even let's say like we'll try to relate to our weather conditions. Okay, that is also like a kind of use case which has been applicable. So weather data, I mean like kind of climatic weather data we have it. Okay, so like old historical data, so like 10 years or 20 years and 30 years and so on, very long back. So all the information of temperature, humidity, and many like wind and so on. And along with that, answers is nothing but based on the temperature, what's the outlook? So outlook is like cloudy, rainy, and so on. So or is like a little bit of dark clouds has been present, so on. So all the previous old historical data which will be trying to get taken, that is like kind of information. Okay, so for machines or for the model which you're trying to create and so on, we need to specify it as a data or information. As a human part of it, we specified as a book, right? That is a book we have like as an information for us, right? So now this is your old historical data of climatic weather, and it contains both income and the outcome. I mean like input and output, because old is like already has been happened. Okay, so already which has been happened previously. So according to that, now machines doesn't learn by itself. Okay, so machine doesn't learn by itself here. So what happens, we need to make it learn, because as human learning we can learn by our own self, but for machines we need to make it learn, right? So if you want to make it learn, then here we need to specify it as an algorithm. Okay, so we need to mention it as an algorithm here. Okay, so algorithm is nothing but kind of step-by-step process. Okay, so like let's say you have calculator. Okay, so first time is trying to make it like kind of addition. So first pass the first number, second pass the second number, third add both the numbers. Similarly, if you pass any other numbers also like 1 and 2, so on, you'll be trying to add it up and getting that outcome also. Okay, that step-by-step flow that we mentioned as an algorithms here. Then only machine will be trying to able to learn. That's what you are trying to mention as a training view and so on, the training process. Okay, so learning process or training process we are trying to mention. Okay, so now it will be trying to learn it here. So through algorithm, that's so nothing but like step-by-step flow or step-by-step process and so on. Okay, so once it is being learned from the old data, okay, so from the old historical data, right? So now here I've been given as rules, okay, like kind of storage, or we are trying to save that model, okay, or we are trying to save what is being learned, okay, the particular concept is being learned. We are trying to save it here, or we are trying to store in one particular file. Okay, so here I've been given as a rules, okay, like meaning of like if this is a temperature, this will be the outcome, or this is a wind, we have it out, and this is the outcome related to it. And kind of rules is trying to get stored here. Okay, and the storage also we have some later on related to concepts related to it, like kind of pickle files and so on. It's like in-depth technical view we have it out. So now if you try to see the differentiation from human learning to the machine learning view. Okay, so from the book we are trying to learn by our own self and will be stored in our brain, right? And similarly the same for the machine part of it from old historical data. So it's trying to learn it here, right? So but that learning process will be applied through our algorithm view, step by step flow. So once we are trying to make our machine to learn, then will be stored in our like kind of file that we name it as a rules here. Okay, so able to get it. So able to get this point still here. Okay, so which I've been trying to mention with the real time use case. Okay, that weather condition I was trying to mention, or the climatic condition which we have taught. Okay, so now till here. Okay, so till here is nothing but with our old data, which is making our model to learn it or making our training process. Okay, so now like technical word, we'll be trying to use it, or like model building also can able to mention. Okay, so once the machine is being able to learn, so might be having some doubt also, like non-technical people might be able to mention like that machine you're trying to mention. Nothing but our systems only we are trying to mention that, not any other kind of object and so on. So our systems only are trying to mention it as a machine. Okay, so once it is being learned, okay, so with that particular file or with that particular concept which is already being stored or is being saved and so on, we are trying to take that model and we are trying to apply as an input part of it for any new incoming data here. Okay, so I mentioned like it's a kind of climatic view, right? So climatic view with that outlook how it would be. So now the model which is being learned, if I try to pass some new information like temperature, humidity and wind and many different kind of incoming fields when it related to that weather, so it should be able to predict me, or it should be able to answer what kind of outlook it would be. It might be rainy, or it might be cloudy, or it might be like dark clouds, or expecting some rainfall, whatever may be. So it should be able to predict me based on the previous old data, or based on the similar to that, or based on the comparison with that old data. That's why the model is being learned. We are trying to mention. Okay, so even humans also can able to do the same work, right? So if I give you 10 years of data, you're trying to read it. Okay, so in the day one, this is the temperature and so on. Day two, this is the temperature and so on. So you'll be learning, right? So you'll be trying to learn, you'll be having some point related to it. Okay, so suddenly tomorrow, if this is the temperature, so at least you might be able to predict. Okay, so like it might be between this, it might be a little bit of hot or a little bit of overcast view and so on. You might be able to predict it here, right? But the thing is like little bit of time consuming for us a human to apply that concept. But for a machine, in a faster way, we are trying to get it. That's what performance faster we are trying to mention, and along with our particular programming language, right? That's what Python has been coming by here. Okay, so this main view for machine learning is nothing but we are trying to make our systems to understand and try to predict for the future here. Because like repetition process which has been happening, even humans can able to do, but in one point of time we get tired also. Okay, like to make it like tireless work. Okay, so machines are being specifying it out as an outcome here. And this is just an example. Okay, so like for weather or climatic condition, even many other use cases or many different applications we have it out also, which you might have been using it out here. Okay, so like let's say we have this Amazon, right? Okay, so like kind of related to recommendation systems they are trying to mention. Okay, so like if you're trying to buy some particular product related to that particular product, previously some customers might have been already brought it along with that other related products also. Okay, so now it's trying to suggest us. Okay, it's trying to suggest us because we are trying to take the same product itself. So according to that, it's trying to suggest me that why cannot you take along with this particular product also. Okay, that is a kind of meaning where the model is being trying to get learned. Okay, kind of suggestions or kind of recommendation is trying to happen it here. So in our Amazon view also. Okay, this is also like one more use case. Okay, so which I was trying to mention. Okay, so related to that, and even for Netflix, of course, Facebook. Okay, so many different present applications related to it. Okay, so let's say even further, I mean, like very much advanced. Okay, so now which kind of use case? Okay, which even my company also which has been related, I can able to mention it out, like kind of augmentation reality. Okay, so in that like let's say I'm standing in a front of a screen, okay, airport screen and so on. So through our facial recognition, okay, so using this concept, like facial recognition means like again my picture will be got trained. Okay, the machine will be learning about this is my name and so on. Will be trying it learn. So based on that in airport, so once it has been scanned, so in which flight I'm trying to go. Okay, so those details will be trying to get displayed in front of me, or in that particular television and so on. Okay, so it might be thinking like only for me. So even for other people also has been present. So if he's trying to view on that particular screen, his particular details will be trying to get displayed here. So what happens? Many people will be standing in front of it, so and then they can able to view their own kind of which particular flight and so on, right? So in that point of it, so because like the flight, the particular timings and so on will be trying to get scrolled. It will be keep on scrolling and time consuming. That will be reduced also. So this is like very much advanced kind of technique. Okay, even it's like kind of augmentation reality which has been applicable. It's like trying to get applied. Okay, they're trying to get implemented also. Okay, this is one example we have it. And even I can able to like which weather conditions which I've been mentioning it outright. So even presently in our kind of client we have it. Okay, so in that like in war zones. Okay, so they want to mention it out like I want to predict the climate tomorrow how it would be and so on. And based on that I can able to trigger or I can able to make some changes related to it. Okay, so already we have like some other sites related to weather. Okay, AccuWeather we have it, Forica we have it, or many different weathers have been present, I mean weather websites. Okay, but our own model to create. Okay, so they're trying to create as an application also. Okay, to predict based on the clouds. Okay, because based on the seeing the clouds will be keep on moving, right? So it might be like an expecting rainfall or some rainy clouds suddenly and so on. Rainy we have it, or dark clouds has been formed. So those kind of information we can able to create. Okay, so this is also one more application we have it. Okay, so these kind of concepts. Okay, so this machine learning which you're trying to mention. Okay, so we have actually two things. Okay, in that one is machine learning and another one is like advanced machine learning. Nothing but deep learning there is to see. Okay, so between the two, only thing is like little bit of in-depth technical knowledge which has been applicable like for images and so on. Okay, so we have in-depth view also for that. So these are like very much advanced now. Okay, so when you try and get related here and how we are trying to apply it, we have some step-by-step flow. Okay, so that steps also I'll try to show it out. Okay, so what are the steps which is being added to that and so on, or like kind of ML operations also they used to say, or ML flow, or even related to that data science life cycle also they used to mention. Okay, so I'll try to display it out also. So later to that. Okay, so but able to understand, right? So how kind of layman wise I've been mentioned. So I think I might have got that points related to it. Okay, so comparing with our machine learning. Okay, so comparing with our human learning to machine learning view, based on our old data what we have got. So we are trying to get for the upcoming view or kind of predictions. Okay, so once the model has been trained and so on. Okay, so able to get it. So anything if you want to mention, you can able to specify it out also. Okay, so right. Okay, right. So yes, I'll try to mention that the previous points also. No need to worry about that. Okay, so which have been displayed out. Okay, and practically wise, like in kind of project view, you can able to see. Okay, so in project view, I'll try to display it here. Right. Okay. Okay, so these are the, you can just note like in points. Okay, so if you want to make it as a point view, you can just note down. So comparing with the human learning. Okay, so comparing with the human learning view, right, and to the machine learning concept. So this is the main difference we have it. Okay, this will be like a like kind of layman view. Okay, from the book we are trying to learn and understand and so on. Same thing according to like a real-time view, which we are trying to maintain as some data or information. So from old data, we are trying to find out that corresponding previous information itself. Okay, so you're trying to trigger here. Okay, so fine. Right. So I want to display you related to life cycle also, and then further on, in a practical wise, when you try to apply it out also, I'll just try to display it out here. Okay. So no need to worry about that, but just understand how we are trying it related to it. Okay, and step by step, what and all things I want to mention it out also. Okay. Right. So these are the step-by-step flow. Okay. So actually, this is a life cycle we used to mention. Okay. So related to our field-wise also, we have it out, and that's what I mentioned like algorithm steps, right? So these are the algorithm steps we have it. Okay. So I'll try to relate a few points as a kind of brief. Okay. So further, what and all we have been learned previously. Okay. So those added points I'll try to specify it here itself. Okay, so in a very simple understanding you can able to see it out here. So almost like kind of 7 steps have been applicable. Okay, so for this life cycle, so one is like business understanding is nothing but like kind of client requirements. Okay, so client requirements like from the person where he wants to complete this project and so on. So client requirement, what he wanted, or according to his business view, what he required. Okay, so that will be trying to do it out also. Okay, so we need to understand in that way how how we can able to gather that information from him totally. Okay, because if let's say like you are in a particular field of manufacturing, so other person like client requirements like kind of healthcare, but as a correspond like data scientist and so on. So what happens like we need to understand fully about this particular domain wise. Okay, so we need to have some experience on that. Okay, so then only can able to do in-depth view according to that requirement also. Okay, because like healthcare contains all the medical kind of fields and related to it, right? So this cholesterol, BP, and BMI, so many different things. Okay, just as an example, I was trying to mention it out. Okay, so first is like understand requirement. Okay, so according to that life cycle view. So once you can able to understand, then okay, so this is a point I want to do it, and so on. That requirement view will be a better outcome. Right. So this is the first one we need to get understand here. So first point I've been given, and then what we need to do is like data mining. Okay. So any idea what is data mining? Any points you want to relate? Okay. So related to the data mining view. So data means like that information what we are trying to see. Even that example of kind of that countries and all we had it, right. So it is also data only. Okay. So mining is like in-depth view which we are trying to make it as a research. Okay, so in-depth research you are trying to do. because all the information which you're trying to pass it will not be known. Some might be known, some might not. Okay, so in that point of it, okay, so how we are trying to research and make it as a study of a data. Okay, so that we are trying to relate as a data mining view here. Okay, so based on the previous old data what we had it, we are trying to get understanding format. Okay, so this we name it as a research. Okay, so research of that or a study of a particular data. Okay, so both you can able to add it out here. So R is like research, S is like study of a data. Okay, so both. So after understanding the requirement, we are trying to get the data from the client. Okay, so data from the client, and we are trying to make it as a research here. Okay, what are the fields have been available and so on. Okay, this is the second point we have it. And for these things only that pandas, numpy and all we have it, right? So those corresponding libraries will be trying to get triggered here. Because just now even that country's data, so I want to import it. Pandas has been required here, and then only that read underscore CSV we have been tried. Okay, so those points we have been, or those functionalities will be trying it used here. Okay, so in our data mining view. Right, so once we got that data, then data cleaning. Okay, so data cleaning is like let's say like some information are not being present, like kind of missing information we used to say, because old data means all the values will not be present. Okay, so we need to gather information more from the client itself. Okay, so that we can able to make it more prediction accurate, like, because everything we are trying to make it focus for the prediction only, for the future how to be and so on. Okay, so let's say like practically you're trying to mention some example, right? You want to specify it. Let's say like okay, automobile industry we have it out. Okay, so in automobile industry, about the vehicles of car or bike. Okay, so like a real time view only. So in that we have some specifications. Okay, so like kind of car specification we have it. Okay, so what kind of car name it is, and what kind of engine they have been using, was it like an automatic and manual car, or what kind of displacement, or many different input specifications present. Okay, so for that particular vehicle to be or to be produced and so on. Based on that, they want to find out the mileage of that particular car here. Okay, they want to figure it out how much mileage it would be. Okay, I want to predict it here. Okay, because like previously it's like man-made ways we used to do it. Like we used to make some time consuming for that. So we used to pour the petrol and diesel and make a rotation. So number of times we used to do it, on average we'll be finding out. So this is the least mileage, this is the highest mileage, and so on. All right. So that time consuming should be reduced also. Okay. So for that case only, this kind of even as one of the prediction view. Okay. So as in one of the application for automobile industries. Okay, they're trying to use it out here. So like mileage prediction you can able to say. Similar to that, even kind of like plant disease prediction also we have it. Okay, for agriculture they're trying to do it. Okay, just by clicking on that particular plant, so the details of that particular plant and whether it's been growing good or not, you can able to find out also. Okay, you can able to predict, and for the next day how it would be and so on also can able to make that predictions. Okay, so this is also one more real-time view. Okay, like practically which I've been mentioning it out here. Okay, so for those things also we are trying to use these steps. Okay, so just a point have been added about that use case only have been added here. Okay, so fine. So and it's like cleaning is nothing but which information is not been present. We are trying to add that information or replace that values which we require as a point of assumption. We'll be trying to do it out also. So for this data cleaning also again through pandas. Okay, so again through pandas we have some other functionality for that. Cleaning is something that we are trying to replace or drop. Okay, so some information which is not been available. Okay, so in that like we can able to find out through client also. Okay, so if required you can able to gather that information. Right. So this is the third step. And fourth step, which I was trying to mention number of times, nothing but analysis. Okay, so exploratory data analysis part. Right, so like to find out, like let's say previous other countries we have been tried out, right? So in that country already that analysis of which is the highest population country, so that was also an analysis only. Okay, so which we have been applied. Okay, we got like China was the highest population, then India, United States. So many different countries have been available. So now we have been known from that information. So those kind of exploration or kind of analysis we can able to apply it out also. Okay, so this is also one more information, right? And then these two. Okay, so these two are the main two important you can able to say, which will be related to our predictions. Okay, so to find out predicting you for the future and so on. Okay, in this only the library name now which I'm trying to mention, especially for predictions or for this machine learning view, the library which you are trying to learn it further and so on. Okay, nothing but we called as a scientific kit learn. Okay, normally they used to say like Sklearn. Okay, so scientific kit learn they used to say Sklearn. Okay, this is a library name for machine learning especially. So what and all functionalities present in this Sklearn or scientific kit learn is nothing but like related to mathematical problem statement and so on, like mathematical formulations which have been stored in one particular function names, and even like kind of pre-processing techniques. Okay, so end up like technical view. Okay, so related to stats and all the mathematical formulation or all the algorithms. Okay, so which we have been seeing upcoming also. Okay, so related to our machine learning view. Okay, algorithm is like kind of one step-by-step flow, right? So in that, like predefined algorithms have been present also. Even we can able to create our own model with that particular algorithms using mathematical formulation. So all is being stored into this particular library called as Sklearn. Like how NumPy, Pandas, and all we have it out, right? The same format only. Okay, so this Sklearn library we have it out also. Okay, fine. And the last one is nothing but visualization. That is nothing but representation view. So this matplotlib and seaborn and so on. So these representations you're trying out. But for the predicted outcome, if you want to make some representation, you can able to try it out also. Okay, so this is how the life cycle of any particular ML algorithm view. So these are the steps you are trying to relate here. Okay, so almost 7 steps, very much easy steps only, which even in our project we will be trying to see it out. So how the steps we are trying to relate here. Okay, so you be able to understand, right? So that I've been mentioned the point of comparing with human learning and machine learning. Okay, and then the life cycle, how it would be. Common kind of steps only, and which have been kind of layman steps only have been mentioned. Okay, so still some more use cases if you want to specify, even I can just mention it out also. Okay, so let's say like we have this kind of medical field. Okay, I'll just go with the medical field, and even for the manufacturing also, which is more demanding view I can able to say. So in medical field previously, like now actually they're trying to implement. Okay, so whether the person will be having that eyesight or not, so it is trying to get predicted before itself. So machine will be trying to get predicted before doctor has been suggesting you, or before 48 hours. So which is the company has been trying to work on this, nothing but Google company has been working it here. And it has already been connected with Shankara Nethralaya and even eye hospitals like Arvind Eye Hospitals and so on, which is popular one. So they're trying to gather the information of the patient history. Okay, so like maybe according to medical wise and so on, full history of that particular patient. Based on that, especially for eyes, they are trying to find out whether the person will be getting that eyesight or not. This is also like a real time application. Okay, so practically we'll be trying to mention. Okay, and similar to that, even for AI view. Okay, so for AI, like kind of thermal scanning and all, we used to do it, right? Okay, so the thermal scanning, full body checkup. Okay, instead of going to doctor and so on. So that corresponds just a single kind of, even like through sweat also. They're trying to find out so about our full body history. Okay, through sweat itself. That much advanced view is trying to get implemented also. This is also one more which has been already behind part of it, which is like a use case which has been developing also here. Okay, so many different things. Okay, just like few use cases which maybe you might have been known or not. Okay, or might have been seen. And even for gaming kind of applications also, they are trying to get created. Because like chess games and all, you might have been playing, right? Chess games, bike races or car races and so on. So of course that is also a part of machine learning only. Okay, so it has been created like already it is being made it learn, and then it's trying to play along with us. is the kind of competition wise is trying to play. So how it's been happening. That is also a part of machine learning view only. Okay, so because it's trying to predict, right? So like chess games means like when I try to change that corresponding step. Okay, so like any like if I'm trying to move the minister and so on, so anything whatever maybe. So it is trying to automatically the system will be trying to play along with this. Even a Sudoku also will be trying to get solved. So now we can able to see. So those kind of many different. Okay, it's like real time use case also we have it. Right. So same thing if you want to ask in this mention. Okay, so let's see. Even I want to feed out. So I want to know few of the related points. Yeah. So related to like many informations, what and all have been mentioned. Okay. So it's like an real time view only. Right. Exactly. Like data exploration and so on. And yeah, of course we'll be sharing the ppt also, and for the collab, and of course we'll be sharing that assignments also. Okay, so like try to uh, okay, first make it as a trying it out. Okay, it's like full practice view and so on, so then you can able to try implementing view, right? And okay, so of course, like tomorrow we'll be trying to do some practice kind of project. We will try it out. Some kind of data which even from the websites will try to take it. Let's say which is like more demanding is like kind of insurance kind of data we have it. Okay, so insurance means like based on even it's like kind of real time. Okay, so just I want to mention about that. So the thing is like based on our vehicle insurance, okay, whether you are being as your opinion, you are being trying to buy that insurance or not. Okay, so we are trying to get here. So that is point of it through NLP also is be related. Okay, based on that only you'll be getting calls. Okay, like whether you have been applying for the insurance and so on, and according to that. So this is also like real time. So according to more, I mean like vehicle history of it or vehicle details and so on, and annual premium, many things we have it. So from that only you're trying to trigger. Okay, so fine. So I hope like you got a good information. So anything if you want to mention. So if everyone able to understand me, just give it as a thumbs up. Okay, so like few important points have been shared it out as a layman point of view. Okay, if you want to mention, you can just specify. Let me answer a few questions related to it. Okay, so due for assignments. Okay, so yeah. Okay, like yes, but that's just a kind of practice. Okay, and mark your attendance also. Okay, don't forget mark your attendance as I showed yesterday also in your YouTube itself. So mark your attendance and the progress also, like beyond 50%, of course, for certificate and so on, and based on your assignments you again. Right, so we'll try to apply. Okay, so we'll be not to worry about that for assignment two and so on. Okay, so like it's like not like kind of questions. Okay, like when you try and add it up and you can able to get the outcome. So like slicing, which I've been mentioning out. So further, kind of for practice, I'll try to add it out also. So yes, yes, of course, like machine learning view, right? So you are trying to mention that, right? So fine. So take care and be safe. We'll try to see in our upcoming view. So love you all and so on. So try practicing, try learning it here. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you so much. Be safe.